Your top story at 9, the former BOSASA boss, Chief Operating Officer, Angelo Agrizzi, is expected to resume his testimony at the state capture inquiry in Johannesburg today. He took the stand yesterday and admitted that the company used bribes to get the deals. BOSASA has been implicated in capturing some key state functions at the Department of Correctional Services. Now, for more on the story, let's cross live to our reporter Mzwandile Mbeje, who's live for us in Parktown. Hey, Mzwai, thank you very much, as always, for your time. So we were, I guess, taken by surprise yesterday hearing that Angelo Agrizzi was ready to testify. We expected just applications to be heard. So from what you heard from yesterday's testimony, what stood out for you?
Thank you very much, Blaine. Indeed, Angelo Agrizzi continues as a witness today. He resumes the stand at about, in fact, at 10 o'clock. Where we expect him really to continue giving interesting information like he did yesterday. I mean, talking about how they used to do business as part of BOSASA, interacting with various entities of government departments and state-owned enterprises. It was quite interesting, Blaine. I mean, we had been told, as you have said, that it was just going to be a day where it will be more procedural, there will be applications and nothing beyond that. So what we did not know was that they actually had a witness that was ready to give explosive information. I mean, this witness, who is a former COO of BOSASA, is not only implicating various high individuals, Blaine, he is also implicating himself in a number of wrongdoing. So talking about bribes, talking about the exchange of money, fingering the BOSASA head, Kevin Watson, and of course, and a number of other people. I mean, he said himself that he expects to implicate about 38 people. So you can see it's quite a very interesting situation. I mean, when the commission really wanted to find out from him, why now? Why is he only coming out now? I mean, he was basically saying, you know, there was an instance where he got sick because I think this was weighing very heavily on him. And then when he came out of hospital, and then he decided together with his family that he's tired of concealing things, so he wants to to speak the truth, and a commission like this one is the appropriate platform. That is why he has decided to do what he is doing. And as you know, Blaine, to speak about these kinds of things would also attract danger. So that is why he had a number of protectors around him. It was a closely guarded secret that he was even a witness because his life is under threat. But he says whatever the consequences, as long as he's able to share with the nation the nature of the state capture, so he would really be pleased about it. So we expect him to be able really to continue where he left off yesterday, sharing a number of information about the shenanigans, basically, of BOSASA with regards to a number of state entities.
Some serious allegations being made. The allegation is, according to Agrizzi, that BOSASA spent between 4 and 6 million rand a month in bribes. We heard about an alleged walk-in vault used for bribes. Today, are we likely to hear much more about the former SAA chairperson, Dudu Myeni, the alleged confidential documents or information that was spoken about yesterday?
Perhaps more than that, because as I said, he is speaking about a number of people. The issue of Dudu Myeni came up when the legal head of the commission basically laying out how his evidence would be led and what are some of the topics that he was going to touch on. That's where he then said part of the evidence he will give was that he has evidence of former chair of the SAA board, Dudu Myeni, giving confidential NPA documents to an individual, and then he says, so that is recorded. I mean, the commission itself says it was actually able to verify the stay of Ms. Myeni at the hotel at the time where this allegation is being made. And we expect also other people really to be implicated in a number of other activities, because BOSASA has contracts with a number of entities. It had a contract with AXA, and it had a contract with many other people. I mean, it's a security company which really worked with a number of what they call comrades. So, and I think for them to really survive, they saw it fit to make sure that the comrades who were influential in their existence and in their protection were really taken care of. I mean, he was saying people were paid depending, of course, on the nature of your influence and the kind of role you do. So some people would be paid perhaps about 5,000, but those perhaps who were deemed very influential in the existence of BOSASA would be paid as high as 1 million rand, or actually, or even more. And then that would be happening every month. So that is why he was talking about that every month BOSASA would spend between 4 and 6 million. So that's quite a lot of money that was really being spent there. So as he continues his evidence today, we expect really to hear a lot more about the operations of this entity. So it's very interesting, Blaine. Perhaps I may just add that given all that is being said here, it's not painting the governing party in a good light, because most of the people that are being fingered here, as we are told, would be the senior ANC people. I mean, in an election year where you have made it clear that fighting corruption is your priority, and then if there are some of your people really that are found to be at the center of pushing that which you have said you are fighting, it will quite be very interesting to see how President Ramaphosa really responds to these kinds of things once all the information really is revealed.
Yeah, as you rightfully say, I mean, a number of people have already been implicated and will be implicated. Do we know if all the people that Mr. Agrizzi has implicated have been informed, and what is the process of cross-examination here?
Blaine, as you would know, that when we started speaking, no one knew if that there would be a witness today, because he had to be protected because he is facing a number of threats, death threats. So what the judge said was that despite the fact that they did not inform those people who will be implicated, so they will be given a fair chance. So which means if your name is mentioned here, so then you have a right to approach this commission to say, because my name was wrongfully mentioned, I want to put my version so that I can dispute or put a different version to what Mr. Agrizzi would have said. So what we understand is that all those people who will be mentioned so will be afforded an opportunity really to state their side of the story. But for you, Blaine, to be able to state your side of the story, it's not just you simply walk in here and come and dispute that. You will have to make an application to the chairperson of the commission, in this instance, Judge Raymond Zondo, so who will then look at your application, and then you'll be granted the opportunity then to state your side of the story. But given the kind of allegations and the seriousness, and of course what they may lead to, and I think those who would be implicated would really be given a chance. I mean, as Judge Zondo himself did confirm that they will be given a fair opportunity so that they can defend their names.
Mzwai, no doubt you sitting there, you have a bit of a feel of the room. At the very onset yesterday, we heard about security concerns surrounding Mr. Agrizzi. You spoke about his security detail. He is well protected, we understand. But when the cameras are off and when he's off the stand, what's his demeanor like?
Well, Blaine, as soon as the judge says we adjourn, immediately the security detail takes over and then it gets whisked out. So we don't even have an opportunity perhaps to say, hi, how are you feeling? Because I think they are very, very careful about who he interacts with. So I think I expect a situation where really they would continue to do that. I mean, even yesterday playing. So the commission was already in session when, just out of the blue, the doors opened and then a number of men accompanying someone just walked in, and then we were told that because this was a high-risk witness, so that's why they had to conduct the operation in such a very strict manner. So we expect that to continue, and if I really look at the kind of evidence he's giving, he is probably going to be here today and tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I expect the same thing to continue. I mean, as soon as he finishes, as soon as the judge says we adjourn, the security detail immediately takes over, and no opportunity really for either the members of the public or the media to perhaps pose a question or two to him. So he just gets whisked away, and then he comes back when is the time for him to take the witness stand. And that is likely to continue because, as we have said, Blaine, he is implicating a number of people. But interestingly, in that implication, he is also implicating himself, basically saying he was at the center of driving some of this corruption that is being reported. I mean, in his own words, in his statement, he says this was the state capture really that is now concerning him so much that he has decided to come out and say, well, perhaps this should never happen again.
And seemingly he's very much aware of the implications to himself and his family. A number of exhibits will be presented before the commission, I understand, and one of them is a video clip or audio clip. Tell us a bit more about that. Yes, remember what he used to do, the witness, Mr. Agrizzi, was that he recorded some of these incidences, perhaps where the money was exchanging hands, so he would record some of those things, either there was video or there's audio. So that is why we are being told that as part of the evidence, as part of perhaps strengthening his case, he would be able to, in some instances, to say there was a certain amount that changed hands on a particular date, and then to prove that, so he has a video clip or he has an audio clip. So that is the kind of some of the evidence, Blaine, we expect to happen here in the commission. And I mean, based on really his demeanor as well, and perhaps his determination to share his truth. And I think it will be very interesting and perhaps very explosive. Yeah, no doubt. A busy day at the commission. We'll catch up with you a little later on, my friend. Mzwandile Mbeje live for us at Parktown, Johannesburg. He is SABC senior reporter. Des?